Greg Anthony from NBA TV set to join us. They'll have full court coverage of the finals. Features all the latest highlights, news, info, live coverage, post-game press conferences for each game. Greg joins us now. What'd you think of that block when you saw it in real time, Greg?
Really impressive. It's funny. I thought it was even more impressive, as is the case with most shots or plays, when you got to see it in slow motion, because you could just see the force with which Thiago Splitter went to make that play, and he had no idea LeBron was even there. I mean, that was kind of the seminal moment of the series thus far, very much like Tony Parker's shot was in Game 1. Obviously that was the defining moment of that game, and LeBron's block, one of the three he had, that was a really impressive play, and obviously in a game where there was a lot of desperation by the Heat, they responded the way they, in essence, responded all postseason with a solid performance in a time of need.
Why is it the analysts, the experts, feel this need to make a declarative statement after each game as if they've got this series figured out? Barkley was on after Game 1. He said he could see the Heat being swept here. Now they go back to San Antonio, tied at a game apiece. I don't know where this is going. I haven't got it figured out, but everybody wants to make a statement after one game, each game. One.
Dan, it's a great point. I think everybody gets caught up in the moment, and I think that's the beauty of a 7-game series. And I think what we got to remember is that these are two teams that play 700 basketball over the course of the season. Both teams are really good, and both teams are going to have some success in this series. I thought all along it was going to be a 6 or 7 game series, and I thought all along that both teams would win at least one game on the other's floor. Keep in mind the Heat have played. They've been 1-1 after the 2 home games, and they're in all 3 series since the first round. Chicago won Game 1. Indiana could have won Games 1 and 2. They won Game 2, and then obviously the Spurs won Game 1 in that one. I just think it's part of what happens. It's part of what builds the drama and excitement, and it's not anything that's manufactured. I think you really feel that way. But you've been around sports as long as anybody, and you see it. I mean, from game to game, the difference. That's why even now, like that game, to me, it's not insignificant from San Antonio's standpoint, but it's just a loss. There's still, I think both teams will feel good about where they are heading into San Antonio. The fact that, Miami was able to have, one of those Miami-esque runs, 33-5 there in that second half, and San Antonio got the game that they wanted. They got the split, and then they'll go back to San Antonio. And in this format, I would expect that Miami's going to win at least one there. It's just we all get caught up in this. Both teams are great. Listen, it's interesting to me that nobody scored more than 21 points in the game, and the officials are really letting the players determine. I mean, it's been very physical, very few free throws. And the team that's been the more physical team thus far has been the one that's kind of been able to ratchet out the win.
Jeff Van Gundy expressed his displeasure on the 2-3-2 format for the finals. It used to be that was, if you're traveling cross country, you were trying to be fair to that team. You're traveling cross country, and we're going to stay there for a few games, and then we'll head back. Who's it unfair to now with the 2-3-2 as opposed to the other series where we have a 2-2-1-1-1? And I know that those are based on its Eastern Conference travel, Western Conference travel, but why not 2-2-1-1-1?
Well, I think you just answered it. I mean, for so many years you had, the L.A., Boston, Chicago, L.A., Detroit. Those are long trips. And listen, this is an example right here. They played late Sunday night, prime time, okay, and that was an early tip for finals game at 8:30.
Yeah.
Typically on the East, it's after 9. They got to play tomorrow night in San Antonio. So they're going to fly probably all night last night to get back. Yeah, they're going to pick up couple hours, but they're still going to be on a plane 3.5 hours. Your clock's going to be a little bit off. You're going to have one day in essence to kind of prepare. I don't know how hard you're going to be able to go, and then they turn right back around and play tomorrow night. So, listen, there is no perfect scenario because you're going to tell me that the 2-2-1-1-1 is better if they then got to play again Sunday night, fly back, play Tuesday, fly back, play Thursday. I mean, that would be crazy, I would think. And so I don't know that it's necessarily antiquated. I mean, it's and I don't even think it favors one team or the other. I actually think that when it's even a series like this where it's pretty evenly matched, I might say that I still think Miami would win the series. I gave them a slight edge, but right now I'd say, you know what, they feel good because when you get to go play a team on their floor 3 consecutive times, you're going to get a better feel and a rhythm and a comfort playing there. But listen, it's not easy to be in a city for 8 straight days on the road. That's tough. And you got to prepare that that's what's going to happen if you're Miami. I just don't think there's no easy answer to it because that 2-2, 1-1-1, if you got to fly cross country, man, that is not easy. That's a tough trek, especially if you're the Spurs with an older team. You saw Duncan didn't look anything like he looked in Game 1, and he's got to turn right back around at his age and come with his best performance of this finals.
He's Greg Anthony, NBA TV analyst, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Jason Kidd thrown his name into the hopper there to coach the Nets. Thoughts on that, with that process of just retiring and then maybe being a head coach?
Well, I think I think he'll be successful. And I would say this. Hell, he's been an assistant coach for about the last 5 or 6 years. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He really has. You relied on him as a head coach, whether it was in Dallas or New York, for his experience and his understanding. And listen, the precedent has been set in terms of having point guards specifically that have come right from the game without really having been an assistant coach. Mark Jackson and obviously Doc Rivers have been two that have been really successful. And I think also from a personality standpoint, being a point guard, he's going to have a really good grasp of dealing with people. And listen, if you're going to make that move, you're going to make sure he's got a really strong assistant coaching staff, much like they did with Mark Jackson. But at the end of the day, the thing about being a head coach, it's not as much about the X's and O's as it is about your ability to reach players and get them to perform at a high level. I tell people all the time, listen, you can win playing any style in sports. The question is, do your guys believe in you and your style? And do they trust you and your style? And if you get that from your players, you're going to have success. And I think Jason Kidd would be able to get that from if it's the Brooklyn Nets.
Good to visit with you as always. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Greg.
All right, guys. Take care, Dan.
All right, Greg Anthony, NBA TV.